Well, hello there, and welcome to this amazing segment, Money Matters and Tea. So go ahead and grab some tea. Listen, I literally have some tea. I'm going to take a sip and join us back here right after this quick intro with our guest, Rita Stewart. I promise you, you are going to enjoy this show as we talk about personal finances. We'll get right into it right about now.
Whoa. Why y'all so happy?
You don't know? Sharvette Mitchell is on the radio.
It's time to get motivated, excited, and influenced. Why? It's the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show, live from Richmond, Virginia. And now, here to motivate, excite, and influence you, Sharvette Mitchell.
Welcome to the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show, broadcasting live from the capital city of Richmond, Virginia, but heard and seen all across the World Wide Web. Welcome to all of those that are tuning in live. Listen, if you happen to be on Amazon.com, we are talking about money matters and tea. And yes, I'm gonna take a sip. This actual glass of tea is available right there below on the show page, so you can join in with us if you like that fancy glass of tea. And so we're excited to be here with you. As you know, the goal of the show is to motivate, excite, and influence. And if you're brand spanking new to me, I'm Sharvette Mitchell, a marketing strategist, and I work with high achieving women entrepreneurs who offer services. They're service-based, and we work on, and I help them and I enable them, oh my goodness, to present their expertise with a polished visual brand, gain more speaking engagements with visibility. Yep. Package their authority with a published book, and also convert more customers with content marketing. So that's a little bit about me. Again, welcome. Listen, we got to give some shout out that are coming in already. Hello, Wendy Lee, comedian Wendy Lee, normally tuning in from Wakanda. Yes. Hey, girl. Hey, thank you so much. Those that are popping in from my Facebook group. Yes, so we're broadcasting multiple places, 3 places in Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Hey, we ain't gonna leave you out. Amazon Live, YouTube Live. We're glad to have you. Listen, Lynette is saying it's Tuesday tea time, so she is right on time. So Wendy Lee said, "I see the tea, but where is the money and the matters?" Listen, you're in the right place, because we're gonna get right in to that now. So let me tell you a little bit about my guest, who is hanging out in the virtual studio right now. We have Rita Stewart. She is a licensed financial educator. She's a speaker. She is a consultant, and she is an author. And I'm telling you what, Rita began her career in financial services, serving as a banker for 20 years before transitioning and garnering over a decade of experience in congregational ministry and nonprofit sectors. Today, she blends her professional and ministry experience by currently serving as the co-founder of Centric Vision Consulting, LLC, supporting ministries and nonprofits, and as an independent licensed representative of Legacy Financial Wellness, a 5 Rings financial agency. Yes. And we are excited because she's also the author of Kiwi Devotional for Children. And if you're hanging out on Amazon.com, that book is right down below on the page there. And hot off the press. Well, it's gonna be hot off the press in like just a month or so, but newly published co-author in my anthology. I'm so excited. Pursue. Without further ado, coming up to the mic, live on the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show, Rita Stewart. Welcome to the show.
Sharvette, thank you so much. It's such a joy to be here with you this evening. Thank you.
Oh, we are glad to have you. Listen, getting love. Hey, girl. Hey, Kimberly coming on in from YouTube. Thank you so much. Listen, you got Yulika hanging out with us. You know, we talking about money. Yulika is going to be here.
Yes.
Listen, hashtag platform builder alumni. Shanae, if we talking about money, Shanae is all about credit. You know, Shanae is going to be here, fellow platform builder client. Hey, girl. Hey. Oh, my goodness. So, yeah, I'm excited. Again, for all those that are here. So let's jump on in. And so tell us how we heard a little bit in the bio, but when did you fall in love with Money Matters? When did you fall in love with Money Matters?
Well, it's interesting because I remember telling my husband years ago, Charvette, he was also a banker. So I finished my banking career of 20 years. He retired from banking. And I said, someday we're going to be using this experience. God's going to use this experience, but I didn't quite know how, right? And in what way. So here we are now. Myself, as a lover of tea, I figured it was a wonderful way to break the ice, because we know how many people don't want to discuss money. They do not want to talk about personal finances. So I said, what better way to sort of, introduce the subject of money in a lighthearted way, hence Money Matters in Tea. And I will say, for me personally, I love to come alongside women. Yes, indeed. I love to look, I have a cup of tea as well. Actually, my absolute favorite is a loose tea called the Richmond Blend. But I love to come alongside women to help them understand and execute, Charvette, their financial power, right? And so discussing money over a cup of tea just breaks the ice.
Just breaks the ice. And, why is it so important, in particular, this conversation for women? Why is it so important to talk about money?
You know what? Some people don't like to hear the raw truth as it relates to women and money. But I will say this, it's critical for us as women to understand matters as it relates to money, because we have found or seen where some women find themselves trapped because they don't understand or know personal finances, whether it be trapped in a bad relationship, whether it be trapped in a job that's just messing with their mental, self, right? Or whether it be they're trapped in poverty. And so I looked at some statistics, because there are a lot of statistics out there, and it actually shows that, Charvette, within the first year of a divorce, women will find themselves that their standard of living, or can find themselves that their standard of living has dropped 73%. 73%.
Wow.
That's crazy. And I actually had a conversation with a young mother, 3 children, excellent job, just last week. And she said, she says, I have a great job and I have a great salary, but my husband takes care of all the finances. If something were to happen, I don't have a clue.
Now, let me pause you, because sometimes that conversation, we think, oh, that was women in the 60s, or that was women in the 70s. So wait a minute, Rita, you're telling me at the airing of this show, 2021, that can still be the case in some households?
Truly. It truly can still be the case. Sometimes women lack the confidence. Sometimes it's perceived to be a male-dominated position, if you will. We take care of the house, they take care of the money. Now, I will also say you do have some families where the money, the husband brings the money home, quote unquote, and the wife manages to it. But there are still cases today, Charvette, where women struggle with whether or not they are able to manage to that money. The other thing is, 90% of us as women, at some point in time in our journey, will find that we are responsible for managing our money. So hence, I am passionate about ensuring, once again, that I come alongside women and host, workshops, conferences, etc., where there is an opportunity to teach. In fact, you referenced in the bio that I'm an independent licensed representative, which is true. And my agency is Legacy Financial Wellness. However, I am aligned with a brokerage called 5 Rings Financial, right? The reason I selected 5 Rings, because they focus on middle American, 60+% of their clients are women, and they are an education-based company. And Charvette, I've often told you I am to teach. So that's the alignment. And
that is the alignment. I love it. I love it. And again, welcome to all those that are popping on in. We see you hanging over there with us on Amazon Live. We're in a couple places. We're having Money Matters and tea, sipping tea here.
Yes,
Literally, this is tea. And if you love this glass, I got to give a shout out to Gwen Finley. I attended one of her, an event she had, and I got this glass. And it is located, this teacup, I should say, is located right there down below, as well as one of Rita's books is down below there on Amazon for hanging out there with us. All right. And so let's talk about some tips that you might have. We're transitioning into fall. And I often feel like September feels almost a little bit like a new year for some people, especially if you have school-age children. Summer is over, these kind of crazy schedules are over, and there feels like there's at least some sense of, okay, I can get back focused. I'm heading in towards the end of the year. I might have had some goals. As we think about fall and heading towards the end of the year, what are some personal financial tips that you would share with the listeners and the viewers?
Absolutely. Well, 3 things actually come to mind right off the cuff. And one is, it's critical that each and every one of us have an emergency fund set aside. And while that seems so basic, many people do not. And we know over the past year and a half, there have been several instances where people have had to deal with an emergency. So it's important that you have that set aside. And one thing I want to point out about that, an emergency fund is different from your savings that you have. Okay. So your savings, you should have what I call savings buckets or savings categories, right? So as it relates to a savings fund for your car, a savings fund for your home, a savings fund if you love to travel, right? Those are some opportunities where you can be proactive. Your emergency fund and the savings that you have are 2 totally different things. Okay. So start with your emergency fund, whether it be 1 month of expenses that you have that you want to ensure that you set aside, or up to a year. Some people start with 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, they work themselves up, and then you start a saving strategy. And once you have set up a saving strategy, there's an opportunity for you then to begin to invest. Listen, the thing that crosses my mind is I was a banker, right?
Yeah.
However, now I'm aligned with a financial institution. And while they may seem like the same thing, they're not the same thing, right? Because a bank helps us with, our traditional savings and transactions that we must incur, deposit checks so that we can get our money. So transactional base. Whereas a financial company helps you with your long-term financial planning, trajectory, legacy, helps you with garnering or building wealth, helps you with leveraging compound interest, etc., so that your money, you've often heard, can begin to work for you, right?
Yeah.
And you know what? It doesn't take much. The key is to get started. And the sooner you get started, the better. The sooner, the better.
I think that's a great spot right there to stick a pin and take a really quick commercial break. I'm going to let you rest back in the virtual studio, sip on your tea a little bit. We'll take a quick commercial break. I'll bring you back up because I know we want to dig more into that. I know that piques some people's curiosity. So I'm going to let you hang out in the virtual studio. All right. And we're going to jump over to our quick commercial break. And again, if you're brand spanking new to me and you're saying, who's this again? Here we go. Here's a little taste. Imagine what it would feel like to throw a spotlight on your business and draw attention to the great services you offer. Picture having the tools and strategies to elevate the marketing of your business. That's the mission of Mitchell Productions. We consult with women entrepreneurs and a few lucky men to help them get more customers by focusing on their visibility, their marketing, and their branding. In working with us, our clients generate more revenue and increase their brand awareness. We do this in a couple of ways with consulting services, the Platform Builder Group Coaching Program, pop-up conferences, book collaborations, and the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show. Hi, I'm Sharvette Mitchell, your online marketing strategist, your overwhelm eliminator, your platform builder, and your confidence igniter. Let's schedule a meet and greet call so that we can accelerate your marketing. All right, there you go. Again, a little bit about me. And listen, I got to give a shout out. Gwen Finley is hanging here. I just shouted her out a few seconds ago as we're here for our segment Money Matters and Tea. And if you're hanging out on Amazon, again, this teacup or something similar is right there on the screen. So thank you, Gwen, who's hanging out with us. I am sipping on my tea. See, I wanted to show you for real as we have our conversation with Rita Stewart, bringing her back in and bringing her back up to the mic. So, Rita, let's continue this conversation, savings. And I want to go back for a second around the savings piece, because some people might say, well, maybe some people are saying, I'm covering my minimum. How do I save if I feel like I've got a lot going out of the door?
That's a very good question. And I often talk to my clients and also in the workshops that I host is there is an opportunity for us to step back. We understand that we have our base incomes, right? We know that our regular salaries, et cetera, and they probably cover all of our regular living expenses. But if you're at a place where you're ready to get serious about developing a savings plan and then ultimately an investment strategy, there's an opportunity for you to consider what other additional streams of income that you can bring in. I think about the fact that you mentioned, the teacup right there, or the books that we're writing.
Yes.
Those are opportunities to bring in additional streams of income. Think about something that you love or that you like. And as Charvette, our host this evening would tell you, there's an opportunity for you to figure out how to monetize those things and how to do it effectively. So an additional stream of income would probably need to come in right there.
And as a marketing strategist and as a coach, I'm going to say there is some expertise, some product, something that you have that you could sell.
Yes.
Expertise, product, something that you have, you can sell. And so think of that as a generator for revenue. All right. So jumping back into, let's talk about the book real quick. So Kiwi,
okay. Yes.
Tell us, I know that's a book collaboration.
Yes.
Tell us about this devotional that you put together.
Well, as you shared in the intro, I spent 20 years in banking and then left corporate, went into ministry, and now, of course, I'm independent, so I get to use the best of both. Yeah. Well, with Kiwi, one of the things, and I authored it with my brother, and one of the things we wanted to do was to come alongside families to support them with nurturing their children in matters of faith. Right? Mm-hmm. So it's like 21 stories, short stories, and very relatable. I actually have some adults who actually use the book as a devotion. So it's just been an incredible journey, but I have something to share. My brother and I just talked today. Next year, we will be launching the second edition, the 10-year anniversary edition of Kiwi. So we are thrilled about that. And now I've made it public. So.
Hot off the press, breaking news here on the Sharvette Mitchell radio show. See you all, we're always bringing y'all like hot off the press stuff.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So we're excited about that. So it is just it's just such a wonder to be able to come alongside individuals who struggle, many who struggle, and maybe not. Maybe they're ready to take their financial position to the next level. That's a form of ministry to me as well, or for me as well, for them. Yeah, so it's awesome.
Awesome. And so while you're chatting, how can people follow you online? How can they follow you?
Okay, so you've noted here, ritastewart.com. Of course, that's my website. On Twitter and Instagram, I'm at Money Matters and Tea. And then, of course, on Facebook, ritastewart.com, and also Legacy Financial Wellness with Rita Stewart on Facebook. So that's where you can find more about me and the workshops that we offer. In fact, I'd like to share a minute, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Because see, we talked about some of the things we have to be concerned about as women from a statistic perspective, but I want to also encourage women that Forbes has put out that we are rolling into the she economy. She economy is how Forbes has tagged that. And 40% of us are slated to be running business coming forward. 60% of women will be in control of wealth that's to come. But if we're going to be in control of the wealth that's to come, however that is garnered, we need to know how to manage it effectively. We need to know how to set up the right strategies and use the right vehicles. So it's important for you to align yourself with someone who's going to hear and understand your goals, right?
Yes.
Your goals. And then align you with the solutions that are going to best help you with this wealth accumulation. 66% of wealth will be managed or owned by women within the next 10 years. You know,
girls rule the world. Hashtag girls rule the world. Type that in.
Really? And Rachel Rogers said that when women have access to monies, there's a change is going to come, right?
Yes.
A change is destined to come. So I do host workshops that, again, support women. It's not to say that we don't support their partners, of course.
Right.
But with my colleagues, we do Money 101 and Wine, Woman, and Wealth. And then I host what I call, because Money Matters in Tea, of course. Here's the thing I want to say about Money Matters in Tea.
Yes.
I can be set up so that it's custom to your audience. Right? And yes. And then I have some signature Mind Your Money and the mystery and magic of annuities. Now, annuities.
Okay, so see, Rita, just drop it. Okay, thank you, Gwen. Hashtag girls rule the world. Hashtag girls rule the world. You dropping some nuggets. So let me go back. So you could host a Money Matters in Tea for a church group.
Yes.
For a book club.
Yes.
For corporate clients, for small businesses, for nonprofits, for a group of friends.
Exactly. Anytime you host, I'll show up. Or you're welcome to come to whenever I host. Yes, absolutely. Because every single one of those groups, those entities that you just named, there is an opportunity for us to come alongside, or for me to come alongside them. Like I even think, because you mentioned women's church groups and things like that.
Yes.
Charvette, there is an opportunity for churches to be able to set their pastor and or their staff up for life using financial solutions that they probably hadn't even thought about. But you just need to have the conversations, right?
Yeah.
I'll give you another one. I came alongside a young woman. She was the owner and executive director of a daycare center, right?
Yes.
And sometimes employees don't have the funds to have a full benefits plan, right?
Right.
However, they are interested in being able to offer their associates something, right? So I've come alongside these small businesses like this, like a daycare center, walk them through some options that they could offer their associates. And they have walked away floored by the fact that there's something that they can offer them that would be of benefits, like life insurance with living benefits. Life insurance insurances are also not created equal. Annuities are not all created equal. Have the conversations, small business owners. Have the conversations, ladies. Invite, Rita and right, to have those conversations.
Good.
I think about. I'll share a quick story because I don't want to. Young woman or woman, she was ready to retire, Charvette, but she wasn't sure if she was in the position to do so. So she reached out to me, found me on social. She reached out to me and said, I have my 401k. Many don't know when we self-manage our 401ks, they right now, statistics show that we manage them. They last for about 7 years, gone. Because we don't know haven't learned how to effectively manage those monies. I came alongside her, helped her with what her goals were. Within 60 days, she handed in her resignation letter to retire because everything was mapped out. She had her annuity set up. She knew when she was ready to start her Social Security. I saw her, a very nice, polite young woman, but when it was all said and done, she was dancing. She said,
transformation.
Yes, right before your eyes. You know what she says, Charvette? She says, I just funded my own long-term pension. And she walked away.
Walked away.
And she was ready. So again, have the conversations because you might be in a better position than you even realize. Right?
That's so good.
Right?
That's so good. Yes. And where, how can they connect with you? Can you have a complimentary consultation? How does that work?
Yes. Just go to RitaStewart.com. And then from there, you'll see the information where you can set up a consultation with me for sure. Charvette. You often hear people referencing GoFundMe, right? Because there's been a financial incident or of some sort, or a life incident of some sort. I just recently got a new T-shirt, and it says "Go fund yourself."
Oh, now wait a minute. That might sting, but it's a put some hearts up for that. But look.
That's all I'm saying. Go fund yourself. There's an opportunity if you step back now and have the conversations. It's sort of like, you know how the auditors come in, and generally we just want to avoid that auditor when that auditor is coming in. And I remember one time, this was when I was back in banking, the auditor came in and the gentleman said, most people run from the auditors, but the auditors are here to help you. The auditors are here to help you take your business to the next level. When you reach out to a financial representative, they're here to help you take your finances to the next level.
To the next level. And so investing, because I think I had stopped you a little short. So there are some people who are maybe on the other side of the fence saying, okay, I've got some disposable income, maybe more, than I anticipated. Thinking about investing, stepping into those waters. What are some initial things that you would say to the person that's ready to now be doing the investing?
So here's the thing. That can be an intimidating next step, correct? That can be a very intimidating next step. Little do many realize that there is an opportunity to start investing in things like index funds that are actually ones that you do not have to be as concerned about whether or not your money will remain safe. There are other ways to invest that may not necessarily be aligned with the stock market. So you can start out with safe solutions, and then over time, once those things are set in place, once your foundations are set in place, then you can begin to gravitate to other type of investment options. Not everything necessarily has to start out investing in the stock market. No disrespect to the stock market, I'm all for it. But for those who are just starting out, you can start. The key is to start leveraging the compounding. And that's the thing too, what I say about banks versus, an institution that you come alongside with for growth as it relates to your wealth. There's compounding on the banking side as it relates to lending, et cetera. That's for their benefit. But there's compounding on the investment side that's for your benefit.
All right. I love that. Now, so we're heading again, September. We're here. Welcome to all those popping in. Money Matters and tea. We have our tea. Rita, put your tea up.
Yes, indeed.
We have our tea here. Some people, Christmas. Yes. And they want to, what's your thoughts around Christmas and how people either spend a bunch or save for Christmas, or what's your thoughts around all that?
So again, I talked about those savings buckets. I said a car bucket, I said a house bucket, I said a travel bucket. You should also have a savings bucket for Christmas if you are one who loves to give Christmas gifts. There is nothing wrong with giving. It is just such a beautiful gesture, but you need to be financially positioned to give, and not with putting it on a credit card. And I'm just going to say that, and I'm not going to hold back on that. Listen.
Ouch or amen. It's an ouch or it's an amen, and it's all right.
If you're going to use a credit card, you have to be strategic about it, Charvette, right? So if you use a credit card and you have the funds on hand to pay it off, that's a good thing. Like, for instance, if you use your American Express card because you're raking up those mileage points, for your next trip, by all means use it, but have the money set aside so that you can pay it right back off. So what I'm saying is, do not go into debt to gift, right? That's a burden that you are placing on yourself and or your family. And that indeed is just not what any of us want to do. No. So plan, prepare, save.
All right. And the pandemic, we are, 50%, I think the last report is roughly 50% of the population is vaccinated. Still, you got variants, you got, different things going on. We're coming around the corner. Anything that you would say specific around money matters, around finances, as we think about, what perhaps the pandemic has done and maybe how it helps us kind of change our thoughts going forward.
This is what I have seen, or what we have seen amongst my peers and some of the insurance conglomerates that we work with, more families are now having the conversations that they need to have as it relates to whether or not they have insurance or whether or not it relates to estate planning, right? Because of what we have seen. And I mentioned, and I didn't go into it too much, but life insurance with living benefits. Again, all life insurance isn't created equal. There has not been 1 ounce of slowdown as it relates to my work with coming alongside individuals to make sure that they have positioned themselves should something happen to them. Should they get sick, whatever, some type of illness or health incident, where with life insurance or living benefits, there is an opportunity for you to possibly accelerate to have those funds. All life insurance is not just death insurance anymore. But many people aren't aware of that. And only about 8% of all the life insurance policies that exist actually have the rider of life insurance with living benefits. So what we have seen is there has been a strong uptick in people having the conversations, securing their life insurance, making sure those estates are positioned as they need to be. And it has been a wonder to be able to participate and to come alongside women and families in doing that. It's just incredible.
Yeah. Empowering. Yes. And I love what a theme as we, are coming to a close of this money matters and tea with Rita Stewart. Money Matters and Tea. Again, if you're hanging out on Amazon, a tea glass similar to this is down below. And also Rita's book is down below. But what I have heard you say laced throughout this is just have the conversation.
Yes.
And, finances can be intimidating for some people on all ends and spectrums, but just have the conversation. One last time, where can they connect with you? All the good things like that.
Okay, so of course, RitaStewart.com. And if you go there, RitaStewart.com will connect you with me everywhere on social, but on Instagram and Twitter, Money Matters and Tea. And then on Facebook, Legacy Financial Wellness with Rita Stewart. So that's where you can connect with me. Thank you.
All right.
Let's see. Oh, sorry. I do have a financial website, Legacy Financial Wellness.
All right, there you go. Last question. The goal of the show is to motivate, excite, and influence. And we want to know what continues to motivate Rita Stewart.
Charvette, I absolutely love the concept of legacy, right? I absolutely love the fact that each and every day we have an opportunity to live our life in a manner such that it can make a difference for generations to come. And for me personally, I live that out. I think of it in 5 tenets, as it relates to your spiritual legacy, your financial legacy, your emotional legacy, your relational legacy, and your intellectual legacy. It's important for us to spend time being intentional about those aspects, or at least it's important to me to do so. So that motivates me every single day. And it also helps me stay in alignment with the work that I do. How does this relate from a legacy perspective, financially, relationally, etc.? So legacy. In fact, can you see that right there?
Yes. Do you all see that? Type, if you see it, type in and I'm just checking any final comments. Type in the chat if you can see what you see on her wall. Type in the chat, type in the comments what you see on her wall. Cause some love coming in from Hey Girl, Hey. Thank you so much. Type what you see, what's and we're gonna as you type, and we know you typing, but Rita, tell them what that is, just in case they need their glasses.
It is legacy. I keep it front and center every morning when I walk into my office. It's right there for me because, again, it's so important for us to live our legacy now. Yes, Wendy Lee, thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes, legacy is coming in. Legacy is coming in. So if you're checking out the replay to this, just type legacy. We know, and then we'll know you were here. You stayed, you listened and watched to the end, and we're excited for all those that tune in. Thank you so much again for stopping by the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. All right. It is going to be a wrap today for the Sharvette Mitchell radio show. Again, we're so excited for all those that listen in from live from all of our streaming platforms, but then certainly for those that check out the talk show version of this on Blog Talk Radio. Also, those that listen to the podcast version of this, that may be Apple Podcast, iTunes. You all are the highest listeners in the podcast arena, but we're also in Stitcher and all those other places. So we're just grateful. Listen, I still see Legacy is still coming in. Listen, Carlethia is saying Legacy. Kim over on YouTube is typing in Legacy. I still see Legacy coming in, and that's what this conversation is all about. Again, connect with Rita, and until we meet again, I'm your host, your amazing online marketing strategist, Sharvette Mitchell, and I'll see you later on the web.
Live from Richmond, Virginia, you've been listening to the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show. Get Sharvette Mitchell every Tuesday at 6 p.m., interviewing all the stars you want to hear from. So until next week, stay motivated, excited, and influenced. This is the Sharvette Mitchell Radio Show.